るかなる冒険の日々が君を待っている。
I've seen this as
For the longest time, I thought my ringtone was going off.
そいつだ、リュウさん。どう？全然連絡つかない。
Now, what's great about it, they got the Japanese voice actors from Amphilia
To do that.
to do that. Yeah. Well, it turns out the creator of Pop Team Epic is a gigantic 14 sicko.
His Twitter is all about his ratings.
Yeah. So when Square Enix was doing stuff with Pop Team Epic Season 2, there are multiple Final Fantasies and multiple Final Fantasy 14s. Hi, so this is a Final Fantasy 14 panel, and then we always start with our traditional commercials.
If I had to feed butter, so we're going to add the eggs after the melted butter, because if we were to add the butter to the batter with eggs in them, we'd end up with scrambled eggs.
What you watch? Who are you? Yikes. Now I see why the streaming trial is free. That guy should not be trusted with a list. Come on guys, you know who has the best free trial ever? Final Fantasy XIV Online. With Final Fantasy XIV, you're going to join your friends on epic battles with endless possibilities. Oh yeah, this is totally bingeable. I know, right? I care about you guys too much to let you watch bad TV. Look, with Final Fantasy XIV, you actually do stuff. Fight bad guys, slay enemies, you name it. Deep down, you're a slayer, aren't you, Julia? Yeah. Is it weird playing as yourself?
So that's right. So Final Fantasy 14, yeah, we're still playing this.
Yeah. Still playing.
We're still subbed. Can't lose my house.
By the way,
I'm playing it right now.
a year from today is our 9-year anniversary in the game.
Nice.
So who are we? You can't see us, but that's fine. We are the Awesome Cast, your podcast for everything awesome. I'm Basil.
I'm Anna.
That is us. We also now do on the same website that you can go to there. We now also do a bespoke 14 podcast called The Carnival Chronicle. Is there like an in between?
That works.
That works. So yeah, in the game I play a Lala, mostly summoner, named 4K Ridus K.
I play a Lalafell dancer, bard, warrior, astro. I have everything in 90. But her name is Cormia, right? As K.
Look, I'm getting there. I'm just not there yet. My rogue is still level 1 though. Anyways, of course we also do we also have our free company, Odin Spear. We left out. We've got a big old house over on Leviathan. So this is when I ask, do I have other primal folks here? Yeah. That own dragon.
Does anybody actually play on Leviathan? Yeah, no one ever.
No one ever does. Aethers.
Yeah.
Aether, yeah. And Dynamis, actually. Nice.
Now to Aether to actually queue.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
No, I go to Crystal.
I mean,
Or Bristol, like the.
I haven't also on Crystal.
I'm on Crystal.
I'm on Crystal.
Balmung.
Yeah.
This is why I use Steam Craft. I want to be able to craft on the go.
So, is there anyone here who doesn't play Final Fantasy XIV?
I'm sorry you're here.
Well, so you might be asking the question, so what is Final Fantasy XIV anyway?
Everything.
It's this, but what's slightly missing?
All for you.
Really?
why Korea gets all the cool commercials.
Yeah, really. Got a whole friggin' anime.
And what gets me on just how accurate this kind of is what you do in this game.
새로운 발견을 하고 끊임없이 열정을 쏟는다.
Like, it really is. Like, they bothered to make the game as animated. Like, it's nuts.
나아가는 것. 모든 이야기가 우리의 모험.
I know, scholars come back to us.
Scholars gonna get there. They're gonna get cartwheels.
I mean, yeah.
모험가? 모험이 많다. 하나의 즐거움이 된다. 도와주고 도전한다.
Yeah, I really appreciate they made sure they had someone in a frog outfit.
열정으로 쌓아올린 모험들.
모든 즐거움을
하나의 이야기로. 파이널 판타지 14.
Korea.
Man.
How dare you, Korea?
So
Lifestyle choice.
So yeah, Final Fantasy XIV, it is an MMO. It's an MMORPG that you go online, play with people. It's not too dissimilar to things like maybe World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2. The big difference is that its story is actually gosh darn good. And it is very actually single player friendly. They've been working their butts off actually slightly massaging and designing the various dungeons that you go through. So normally you would have to have 4 people, yourself and 3 other people online. But now you can play them with NPCs. They call it the duty support system. And so for the majority of the game now, you can actually play by yourself if you really want to. Now the 8 people stuff, they're still working on that. But it's a very playable game. And as was mentioned in the previous commercial, there is a free trial that goes up to level 60, including the critically acclaimed expansion, Heaven's Ward. No limits on playtime. It's very fun. It's very cool. You can play on PC or on your PlayStation. Again, the free trial. Or Steam Deck. What's a PC? But it is totally free to try. And so if you're remotely interested in seeing things in this panel and you're debating on trying it, just give it a go. And either you'll like it or you won't. Hey.
You convinced me.
Yes. One of us.
One of us.
Let's not scare them. So, some things I want to talk about before we really get into it is I did want to highlight some folks that are the reason why we have this game.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah,
Not to be
yeah.
confused with the producer of Final Fantasy XVI.
Our Lord
Right.
and Savior.
That's Naoki Yoshida. We're talking about the director and producer of Final Fantasy XIV,
Yoshi.
Naoki Yoshida, who rose on the 3rd day and forgave us for our sins of 1.0.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
So,
We don't talk about that.
If folks who are new to this don't realize, this game had a 1.0 version that was garbage sauce. It was junk. It was words that I cannot say at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in a family-friendly convention.
On Easter Sunday.
On Easter Sunday.
Now 1.0 in Bossing Say.
Right. And so, because a lot of the folks that were originally working on it were on Final Fantasy XI, and they were trying to do a really weird sequel to Final Fantasy XI where even the people who were playing the 1.0 didn't like. So I'm not really quite sure what was really going on through their brains. And so they had a big old thing, and they brought on Naoki Yoshida. He had worked on a bunch of other games. Like, he's been working on games for a few decades now. He actually got to start at Hudson Soft. He actually directed one of the Bomberman games. I think it was either the Nintendo 64 or PlayStation. Like, he has worked on stuff for a long time, but one of the things he worked on was Dragon Quest X, which was the MMO Dragon Quest. and they realized that he played a lot of MMOs. Like, he was really into things like Diablo and World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2. Like, and they realized he was the guy they needed to be in charge of this game. And so he went, okay, I'm just going to throw the moon at it, and we're going to shut it down, and then we're going to build a whole new game in a year. And I'm going to take your budget for Final Fantasy XV to do it. And now Final Fantasy XV, that's a different thing. That's not what this panel's about. But I can tell you that Final Fantasy XIV relaunched and it kicked ass. So, who are some of the people that he had helped do that? So, the two people I want to, on this side, I want to talk about Tsuyoshi Yokozawa. Like, he is like, literally, I was reading an interview where they're like, whenever Yoshida has his reckless ideas, we take it to Yokozawa. like this is just some of the things he worked on, which were like things like the Fates, Limit Breaks, Hunts. He designed like half the jobs, how the leveling system works, how do they track the experience gain. Like, a lot of the nuts and bolts that we have that works in 14 is because of this guy. And then later on, after 2.0, we got Mr. Ozma, who used to work at like a company doing e-commerce as a programmer, and he literally joined because he saw there was a post on the 14 message boards in Japan that Yoshida was looking for new people. And he applied and went, I really don't know game design. And Yoshida's like, do you want to learn? He's like, yeah, that's why I applied. Cool. As long as you're good at this, I really don't care. I want people with good work ethic more than anything else. So he started doing stuff, and he really, really got his name made, literally, when he designed Ozma in the Weeping City of Mach. So he also has like cool coats. It's like
So he's the guy I need to blame.
Yes.
yes.
He's the reason Weeping City is Wiping City.
Yeah. Banri Oda is a guy that's been around like since the beginning or pretty close to it. He was actually worked with some on 1.0 as well and kept going. He is more or less like the Kevin Feige of Final Fantasy XIV. Like, he is, for the longest time, he was literally known as like the lore master. And so while other people would write stuff, they would have to run it by him before it was actually put into the game. He actually got his start doing strategy guides and things, and apparently when he first started writing stories was because it was some NES game or Famicom game, I guess, in Japan, and they needed to actually put a plot in the strategy guide because the game didn't have a plot.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what they were doing, so they said, yeah, just put however a guy who's writing the strategy guide, have him write it. So he was like, okay, I've never written something. Well, it's strategy guide for this video game, who cares? And that started him on a dark path. But, you know, he's not alone. A lot of the folks actually worked on ARRs and Heavensward stories. They got moved over for another video game that this other guy named Naoki Yoshida was producing called Final Fantasy XVI. And so they had some of the other folks like start stepping up. And there was one person who did a really good job on these like Dark Knight story quests, which if you haven't played them, you should. Dark Knight's probably got the best storyline stuff going on. It's secretly the best Persona game. And her name is Natsuko Ishikawa.
Yeah.
And
She's the reason you cry.
yeah.
She's the crying lady.
Like, well, I mean, the Asm Step is still my favorite like sequence of events in Stormblood. Yeah. And that was her too. And they were like, maybe we should just give her Shadowbringers, and I'm glad they did. But these are all the Japanese side, so I also do want to quickly highlight the American side of things. And for the longest time, our big localization lead was the wonderful creature known as Michael Christopher Koji Fox.
Master of puns.
Master of puns. Like, every time, or for a lot of the game, if you saw like a fate name or a quest title or anything that wasn't quite the game itself, and it was a dumb pun, you laughed anyways, it's his fault.
The hero of the cock was his favorite.
Yeah, we actually went to Fan Fest. Like we've gone to a couple of them, and the first one we went to was right before they unveiled the year of the chicken as the thing, as the rooster, and boy did he like saying the word cock. Anyways,
And he said, I can't say it's the year of the cock, it's the year of the rooster, but I can get away with a lot in the actual dialogue. I believe I counted the word cock 17 times during that whole event.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
but again, when this other guy, Inaki Yoshida, the producer of Final Fantasy XVI, needed to have their ace localizer work on it, Michael was he moved over there after the end of Shadowbringers, and so now his Dark Sith apprentice has now become the master, and so the main localizer for since the between Shadowbringers and Endwalker and all of Endwalker is Kate or Catherine Sindor. I don't know how to pronounce their name. There we go. Awesome.
Easy, well hard.
And I also know they're really into Dragon Age because I found this preview they did of Dragon Age Inquisition from an E3 years ago.
Amazing.
Like you can tell because it's like Xbox One and like PS4 is like the new systems on this website. It's essentially defunct. But then I make sure that is their byline, where they're like Silent Hill Escapee, Friends of Little Sisters, Leader of the Wardens, Lolafin the Hero of Orzia. So they were clearly already a 14 sicko even then. So I'm really glad they got to level up, and now they're in charge of all the good puns now. And then of course the last person I have to mention, I have to talk about the actual hero that we all need and deserve. Masayoshi Soken.
Yeah.
I still love the fact that he grew up in Mexico, or initially, like he was born in Mexico, and then he quickly got he is such a goober. Like he even moved his picture a little bit over to cover up my text. He is such a troll, and I didn't mess up or anything.
You totally didn't. Totally.
What was funny was that before 14, he was really known as one of their go-to folks to do their soundtracks for sports games. Like he started with a baseball game, and understand that like in Japan, there's a lot more sports games than we see over here. It's not just like EA or nothing, or 2K or nothing. There's so many more.
Why are there so many?
And I really found that like his biggest one, even like when they were announcing like him as the composer of Final Fantasy XVI, still one of the major games they had to feature was Mario Hoops 3-on-3, which he did the soundtrack for. But now he's doing all of 14 and 16, and he's really getting to live his best life, which thank God, because he already had to beat cancer.
Damn.
But man, did he have just the best of comeback tours.
Light?
Is also attractive.
They're all true.
Oh yeah.
Just a pause. Just say the pianist Keiko. She's also the person who arranges all the night themes. Like so she's part on the development team kind of as well.
She's like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Wait, this is my boss.
That's the moment where she goes, I'm really in the right job.
Not here.
They really do.
Soccer before going out there?
No, so this is the second year he brought the Automata to FanFest. The first year we went, which was the second FanFest, his shtick that year was he played Lost City of Amphicor on the piano, and for the thump in the song, he had a microphone in a box on the piano, he was kicking it. And he was so proud of that box.
Someone did actually record the video of that. You can find online if you look for like, soak in like Lost City of Amphicor Fan Fest.
Wearing an Asian robe.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That is a myth for legend.
All right, here's the part where we go through all the classes. So if you play it and you like it, you scream and we go, yeah. All right, so first we're going to start with the tank DPS class.
Tank
And by the way, these first pictures are my character. Not this was temporary.
Someone likes Fantasias. It's fine. So yeah, we got paladins. We got any paladins in the room? Yeah.
Got it at 90.
Yeah, like, and now it plays like.
I like it now.
There you go. Well, that's because our actual thing is warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got that at 90.
It's called Warrior of Light for a reason.
But
All day
I know a lot of people like their fight knights.
I got that one at 90.
My preferred is the gunbreaker.
I have that one at 90.
This is what my character actually looks like. These were taken like 3 days ago.
Of course, you got your melee DPS.
Yo!
There's monk.
I have that at 90. No pickles.
There's monk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm wearing.
Like I swear, when I saw this screenshot she sent me, I'm like, it really feels like they asked for no pickles. And then the new hotness.
Yeah.
I have that at
Yeah!
90.
Reaper's very, 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 very fun.
It is.
It's super fun. Of course, can't forget everyone's favorite,
Warm Samurai.
Have it at 90.
Or samurai, if you just
Yeah, boy.
you do not
That
care
one's
about the
92.
people, you should not. The biggest.
Anybody.
Look, I had to figure out somewhere to put a loop in the third joke. All right, and people actually know what I'm talking about now. It's crazy. I did not believe in the year of the Lord 2023 if I made a Lupin joke, someone might actually get it. Dragoons.
Of course.
That's a 90.
Why is it standing?
Why doesn't it say 14?
I didn't proofread it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So when I did this panel for MomoCon last year, Anna had not fully leveled everything to 90 because she usually just does that. Like I'll blink and she'll have a 90.
I was 3 classes short.
And one of them was Dragoon, and so I was making these really goofy images. I'm like, well, what can I do for Dragoon? And I looked at Dragoon. Oh, it's literally it's British cavalry from back in the day. And so it's just that's what it is. And so I included that because I thought it was a neat factoid. Anyways, range DPS, Bard.
Yeah.
Which,
Another 90.
man, I feel that the range DPS has gone through some of the most some of the most journeys that a class or job can go through.
My first limit break 3 was a healer limit break 3.
Remember
and
Bard
that's when
Mage?
Suddenly you became a caster.
Yes, I was a bow mage.
You know, and
I still miss my flame arrow.
Bard is definitely in a much better place now than it used to be. But then you have the journey of machinist, which is like Bard like double, like and then the dancer is just good.
Yeah.
Like dancer is just good.
Oh no, the DDR the game.
Look, this is one of my last slides, so leave me alone. Magic DPS, yes. Black Mage.
Explosion noises!
And for the longest time, I was really annoyed at Red Mage because I made a summoner. And through like ARR and Heaven's Ward, I was like the dedicated reser when the healers were too busy like actually healing. And then next thing I know in Stormblood, this Red Mage shows up and can just go boom cure, boom res, boom this, boom that, boom res. I can just res all day. What about it? It did, but that's fine because my Swiftcast is actually useful for Garuda as a summoner, and they can take it, whatever. My Swiftcast is down.
7 out of 7 commendations.
As a bard, I have more dots than you.
I guess, shut up.